She promised it was a dare. Now I'm living as her girlfriend. I never imagined that a simple dare would lead me here. My name's Noah. I'm 21, average in every sense of the word. Brown hair that never listens, skin that sunburns after 5 minutes outside, and a wardrobe so plain even mannequins would be bored. I study digital design at university and live in a cramped apartment off campus with my longtime best friend and secret crush, Emma. She's everything I'm not. Confident, charming, fearless. The kind of girl who walks into a room and instantly becomes the center of gravity. We've been friends since high school, and when she suggested we move in together during our second year, I couldn't say yes fast enough. Except there was one problem. Emma had no idea how I felt. About her. Or about the other thing. See, I've always been drawn to femininity in a way I didn't understand at first. When I was younger, I'd secretly try on my older sister's dresses when no one was home. Just to see. Just to feel. I told myself it was curiosity. A phase. Something I'd outgrow. But I never did. Over the years, I learned how to hide it. I buried that part of myself under oversized hoodies, sarcasm, and safe routines. I told myself I could live like this, quiet, invisible. Nobody had to know. And then Emma dared me. It was supposed to be a joke. Just a bit of fun. We were watching a dumb reality show where a guy lost a bet and had to dress like a girl for a whole week. I made a crack about how fake it looked, how no one could ever pull it off that convincingly. Emma raised an eyebrow. That you couldn't do it for even one day. I rolled my eyes. Please. I'd look ridiculous. She smirked. Exactly. That's why it's the perfect dare. She leaned closer. Her voice dropped, playful but firm. Come on. You dress up like my girlfriend for a day. I'll even help with the clothes and makeup. We'll go out, take some pics. Maybe grab lunch. No one has to know. Just us. I laughed nervously. Your girlfriend? Why not? She teased. You're already prettier than half the guys I know. With a little effort, you'd make a convincing girl. My heart did something weird then, like it hiccuped. I should have said no. I should have laughed it off, made some joke, and let the moment pass. But I didn't. I said yes. And just like that, the dare began. We set the date for the weekend. Emma was oddly enthusiastic about it, like she was preparing for a photo shoot, not a prank. She texted me links to outfits and started brainstorming names. How about Noelle? She asked one night, stretched out on the couch. It's cute. Feminine. Still kind of you. I shrugged. Sure. Why not? Inside, I felt like I was unraveling. The days leading up to it were torture and bliss all at once. I was terrified of what would happen, and yet, I couldn't stop thinking about it. About her, Noelle. A version of me that had always stayed hidden in the dark corners of my mind. Now, Emma was dragging her into the light. And I wasn't ready, but I wanted to be. That Friday night, Emma stormed into my room with a garment bag, a makeup kit, and a gleam in her eye. Tomorrow's the big day, she said. You nervous? Terrified, I admitted. She grinned. Good. That means it's working. We stayed up late watching makeup tutorials and practicing my walk in heels. She made me repeat phrases in a higher voice, giggling whenever I slipped back into my usual tone. At one point, she looked at me and said, You're going to be so pretty. You'll forget it's just a dare. I laughed. But something about the way she said it made my stomach flip, because a tiny, terrifying part of me didn't want to forget. Our apartment was small but cozy. Posters lined the walls. Hers were all fashion icons and aesthetic mood boards. Mine were minimalist and safe. The kitchen smelled like vanilla candles and burnt toast, her two favorite scents. Her room was always a mess of fabrics and makeup palettes. Mine was bare, everything folded neatly. Controlled. Emma brought the chaos into my life. The color. The spark. She didn't know it, but she was the only reason I hadn't completely disappeared into myself. Now, she was the reason I was about to step into a world I'd only dreamed of in private. Complicating things. My feelings for Emma. And here's the twist. This wasn't just about the dare. This was about her. I'd been in love with Emma for years. silently, painfully. Every time she told me about a date gone wrong or asked if her outfit looked okay, I died a little. She never saw me that way. I was the best friend, the roommate, the safe guy she could cry in front of without worrying. So when she said, "Pretend to be my girlfriend for a day," she had no idea how cruel those words were. Because I'd give anything to really be that. To be hers. But pretending would have to be enough.
Just for a day.
One dress. One wig. One illusion. I could do that, right? The morning of the dare, I stood in front of my mirror with shaking hands. Emma had already laid out the outfit. A blush pink skater dress with puffed sleeves, nude tights, and a cream-colored cardigan with tiny pearl buttons. Next to it sat a long honey blonde wig, a pair of gold hoop earrings, and a tube of lip gloss labeled Peach Glimmer. This wasn't a joke anymore. This was real. Emma knocked on my bedroom door. "You decent?" I opened it slowly, still wearing my hoodie and jeans. Her eyes lit up like it was Christmas. "You ready to meet Noelle?" Barely, I mumbled. She smiled, grabbing my hand. "Don't worry.
I've got you."
We started with makeup. She clipped a pink towel around my shoulders and began dabbing primer on my face. As she brushed on foundation, her expression changed, more focused, almost tender. "Your skin's nice," she said softly. "You're lucky." I chuckled nervously. Lucky doesn't feel like the right word right now. "Just wait," she said, reaching for the blush. "You're going to look adorable." Her hands moved with confidence, blending eyeshadow, applying eyeliner, brushing mascara onto my lashes. When she reached for the lipstick, I saw her hesitate for the first time. "This okay?" she asked. I nodded. "Yeah." The moment the color touched my lips, something shifted inside me. I couldn't explain it, but it felt like a release. Like letting go of a weight I hadn't realized I was carrying. She clipped the wig in place, brushed it, then stepped back to admire her work. "Okay," she whispered. "Ready to see?" I turned to the mirror, and Noelle stared back at me. I gasped. She looked soft, feminine,
Real.
me but not me. Emma touched my shoulder.
Told you.
"You're beautiful."
I didn't know what to say.
I couldn't even breathe. For the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged in the mirror. And that scared me more than anything. Part 2. A date in disguise. "Okay, Noelle," Emma said, snapping a photo. "Let's go." "Go where?" She winked. "Coffee shop. You promised to be my girlfriend for the day, remember?" My stomach twisted.
Wait.
"You mean outside?" She nodded. "Emma, I can't."
Someone will see me.
"What if?" "No one will recognize you," she said calmly. "Besides, don't you want the full experience?" I froze. Did I? I didn't answer. Emma stepped closer and laced her fingers through mine. "Just trust me. You're with me." That single gesture, her hand in mine, was enough to make me follow her out the door. We walked 2 blocks to her favorite cafe. I kept my head down, heart hammering in my chest, every click of my flats on the pavement echoing like a gunshot. I could feel people's eyes on me, even if they weren't looking. But Emma? She acted like it was the most natural thing in the world. She held the door for me, called me babe when we ordered, laughed like we'd been dating for years. Part of me wanted to scream. Another part wanted it to never end. We sat in the back corner, sipping caramel lattes. Emma leaned across the table. "You're doing great," she whispered. I couldn't stop shaking. "I feel like I'm going to pass out." "No one knows, Noelle. Look around. They just see a cute girl on a date." The name hit different now. Noelle. It didn't feel like a mask anymore. It felt like a possibility. When we got home, I changed out of the dress slowly, almost reluctantly. Emma helped me wipe off the makeup, carefully swiping each trace away, like she was unwrapping a present in reverse. The second the wig came off, I felt hollow. I was Noah again. But I didn't want to be. "You okay?" Emma asked. "Yeah." I lied. She smiled. "You did amazing today. I'm proud of you." Then she did something I wasn't expecting. She kissed my cheek. And for a second I thought she was about to say something more. But she didn't. She just turned and walked out. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the dress, the heels, the way people looked at us, the way Emma looked at me. I pulled up the photo she'd taken earlier. Noelle stared back, wide-eyed and beautiful. My hand hovered over the delete button, then dropped. Instead, I saved it to a private folder. The next morning, I caught myself running a hand through my hair, wondering how I'd look in a different wig. I watched beauty tutorials when I should have been working on my design project. I practiced smiling in the mirror like I'd seen Emma do 100 times. I was becoming obsessed. But the weirdest part? Emma wasn't treating it like a joke anymore either. It started small. Another dress. Another day. "Let's see what Noelle looks like in black," she said one evening, pulling out a form-fitting turtleneck dress and matching boots. I hesitated. I thought it was just for one day. Emma shrugged. "So, what if it's two?" Each time she dressed me, she seemed different. More attentive. Her fingers lingered longer. Her compliments got more personal. "You have the legs for this. That color makes your eyes pop. You're better at this than you think." I couldn't tell if she was still joking, or if something had changed. A week later, we were watching a movie when she said, "Hey, want to try something fun?" I raised an eyebrow. "What now?"
She tossed a box into my lap.
Inside was lingerie.
Silky. Pink.
Lacy. My face burned. "You're kidding." Emma's voice dropped. "I dare you." Those words again. I looked into her eyes and knew I'd say yes. 10 minutes later, I was back in her room, heart racing, cheeks flushed, standing in front of the mirror wearing something I never imagined I'd feel good in. But I did. I looked beautiful. Emma walked in and stopped dead. We locked eyes. Something passed between us. Hot. Unspoken. She reached for her phone again. "No pics," I said quickly. She smiled.
Fine.
"But you're keeping that." I laughed, half terrified, half thrilled. "So what now?"
She paused.
Then said the words that changed everything. "How about we just keep this going for a while?" Soon, Noelle wasn't just a weekend game. She was part of the routine. I'd come home from class, and there'd be new clothes waiting. Emma taught me how to walk properly, how to sit, how to talk like her. She coached my voice, showed me how to pose. "You're a natural," she said once. "You were born for this." At night, we'd cuddle on the couch. Sometimes she'd rest her head on my shoulder. Sometimes she'd kiss me goodnight, softly, like it wasn't the first time. But every time I tried to bring it up, to ask what we were doing, she'd change the subject. And I was too scared to push. Because if I did, she might stop. And I wasn't ready to lose Noelle.
Not now.
Maybe not ever. I was starting to lose track of how many days I'd spent as Noelle. Emma had blurred the lines so slowly, so sweetly, that I hadn't noticed at first. First it was weekends. Then weekday evenings. Then entire days where I didn't change back at all. My old clothes sat untouched in my drawer, collecting dust. One night, I asked her, "When does the dare end?" She didn't even flinch. Why should it? She reached out and touched the necklace she'd put on me earlier, a delicate silver chain with a heart charm that read Noelle. "You're happy like this, aren't you?" I wanted to say no. I wanted to scream that this was spiraling, that it wasn't supposed to go this far, that I couldn't keep living as her pretend girlfriend. But when I looked in her eyes, I couldn't say it, because I was happy, and that scared me more than anything else. Then the first close call happened. Emma had invited a few friends over. She swore they wouldn't notice anything, that we'd pretend Noelle was just a visiting cousin. "I've already told them you're shy," she said, touching up my lipstick with a teasing grin. "They won't ask questions." But I was a wreck. I spent the whole night trying not to speak, not to move too much, laughing too softly, sitting with my knees together, and praying no one looked too closely. It worked mostly. But after they left, Emma turned to me with a strange look. "You didn't talk much tonight." I was scared, I admitted. "I'm not used to this." She tilted her head. "But you are beautiful. You always are." She kissed me on the cheek again, but this time it lingered, then slid to my lips. It was soft, Careful. But it wasn't a joke. Not anymore. I kissed her back. And for a moment, everything else fell away. The next morning, I woke up still wearing a nightgown Emma had picked out. I walked into the kitchen, rubbing my eyes, only to find her on the phone. She quickly hung up when she saw me. I tried to brush it off, but something had shifted.
She was quieter that day.
Watching me more closely, almost protectively. Later, while helping her clean up, I found a folder on her desk labeled, "The Noelle Project." My heart stopped. Inside were photos,
Dozens of them. Of me.
notes on makeup routines, wardrobe styles, poses, and at the very top, a printed message from a modeling agency. "Your girlfriend has a unique look. We'd love to meet her." She hadn't told me. This wasn't just a dare anymore. She'd turned me into something else. Something she owned. I confronted her that night. "Why didn't you tell me about the agency?" Emma sat on the couch, arms crossed. "Because I knew you'd freak out. And I was right. You told them I was your girlfriend." "You are," she said simply. I shook my head.
No, Emma.
"I'm not. I'm Noah. I've always been Noah. This, Noelle, it was supposed to be temporary." She stood. "But it doesn't feel temporary anymore, does it?" Silence. She stepped closer. "Don't lie to me. I see the way you look at yourself. You don't even want to take the clothes off at night." "That's not the point," I said. "You made this real without asking me." Emma's voice cracked. "Because I didn't want to lose her. Or you." Tears welled in her eyes. "You were never this confident before. Never this alive." I didn't just fall in love with Noelle. I fell in love with who you became when you were her. "I don't know who I am anymore," I whispered. She touched my cheek. "Then let's find out together." I ran that night. Not far. Just down the street. Dressed in leggings and a hoodie, but still wearing the necklace. The Noelle necklace. I found a bench and sat there, staring at the silver charm between my fingers. The name felt like a weight and a key. I pulled my phone from my purse. Typed out a text to Emma. "We need to stop." But I didn't send it. Instead, I opened the camera. Took a photo of myself. No filters. No makeup.
Just me.
Still Noelle. Still Noah. Somewhere in between. And that's when the phone buzzed. "Emma, you left your phone location on. I'm coming to get you." Before I could reply, I heard footsteps.
She sat beside me.
No words at first. Just silence. Then, "You looked beautiful tonight." I wasn't wearing makeup. "I know," she said. "That's why." She reached into her coat and pulled out a tiny box. Inside was a ring. Not an engagement ring. A simple band, with 2 initials engraved inside. N+E. "I don't know what we are," she whispered. "But I don't want it to be over." The next day, everything felt strange. Lighter, but also more complicated. Emma was quieter again. She didn't mention the agency. We didn't talk about the ring. We just existed, her painting her nails on the couch while I filed away the Noelle wardrobe in the closet. As I was packing away a pair of heels, my phone buzzed. It was from my mom. "Noah, why is there a photo of you online wearing a dress?" I froze. I hadn't posted anything. Emma hadn't, right? I clicked the link. And there it was. One of the photos from the folder. Uploaded anonymously to a local fashion board. Thousands of views. I turned slowly to Emma. She looked up, guilty. "I didn't mean for it to get out," she said. My chest tightened. "You promised it was a dare." She stood.
It was.
"But now it's real." Another message buzzed through. This one from my dad. Then a friend. Then my professor. Everything was spiraling. And I had no idea who would show up at the door next. I paced the living room in silence, the necklace around my throat suddenly heavier than ever. I had no idea who posted that photo. I wanted to believe Emma, but after everything, I wasn't sure what to believe anymore. The agency folder, the flirty touches, the blurred line between dare and reality. It all felt like a slow trap I'd walked into smiling. And now I was exposed. Online. For anyone to see. Anyone like my parents. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was my dad.
Dad, we need to talk.
I felt the blood drain from my face. Emma sat on the couch, quiet, watching me as I paced. I'm so sorry, she said again. Are you?
I asked. She stood.
I didn't post the photo.
I swear.
Maybe I saved it somewhere and it auto-synced. Or maybe the agency shared it after I emailed them. You emailed them?
I snapped.
Emma paused. I thought you were ready. I thought you wanted to be seen. My chest tightened. That wasn't your decision to make. I know, she whispered. But can you really tell me this wasn't part of you? That you didn't want people to see how beautiful you are? I turned away, because she wasn't wrong. And that terrified me. Then came the knock. 3 sharp taps. Emma and I both froze. I tiptoed to the peephole, heart pounding. My stomach dropped. It was Megan, one of Emma's classmates. The one who never liked me. The one who once joked that I was too quiet to be trustworthy. She was holding up her phone with my photo on it. She knew. Somehow she knew. I backed away from the door. Emma whispered, "Do you want me to handle it?" But I shook my head.
No.
I need to do this. I opened the door. Megan's jaw dropped. Her eyes scanned me from head to toe. I was still in Noelle's clothes from earlier. A loose peach sweater, denim skirt, tights. Nothing fancy. Nothing wild. But still not.
Noah.
Wow, she said. So it's true. I swallowed hard. Look, I didn't ask for this photo to be shared. No, she cut in. I'm not here to judge. I blinked. You're not. She shrugged. Honestly, you look good. And bold. Not many people would let the world see this side of themselves. She showed me her phone. It's gone viral. I felt faint. People are commenting. Some mean stuff, yeah. But most of it's positive. Emma joined me at the door. Megan raised an eyebrow. So is this like a thing now? She asked. Are you two, official? I looked at Emma. And for once she didn't speak for me. I stepped forward. Voice low. I don't know what this is yet. But it's mine. Megan smirked. Well, I hope you figured out. The internet already thinks you're a power couple.
She turned to go. Paused.
Then added. For what it's worth, I think Noelle suits you. Then she walked away. Later that night, Emma curled up beside me on the couch. Neither of us spoke for a long time. Then she whispered, "You're not mad anymore?" I stared at the photo on my phone. The one everyone had seen. The one I was still too afraid to delete. I'm still scared, I said honestly. But I'm also tired of pretending. Emma took my hand. So, what happens now? I glanced at her. I don't know. We sat in silence again. Then I asked, "Did you mean it? All of this? Or was it always just a dare?" She turned to me, eyes glassy. I meant every second. I looked down at the ring still hidden in my hoodie pocket, her initials beside mine. My name, but not Noah.
Noelle.
At 1:34 a.m., I created a new profile. New name. New username. New photo. Noelle_official. I hovered over the upload button. One photo. One caption. You thought it was a dare.
So did I. But now?
I'm not pretending anymore. I clicked post. The screen lit up with hearts and comments. The secret was out. There was no going back. And then, just before I locked my phone, another notification popped up. New message from, oh. I opened it. We need to talk. I saw everything. My hands trembled. I turned to Emma and whispered, "This is only the beginning."